Thanks for tuning in to Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I'm Michelle, the M in Jam Sellers, that with my husband John, we started a decade ago. Sweet Relief is a nonprofit fund that provides financial assistance for career musicians and industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet. And with your help, over the next 12 months, Jam Sellers is committed to raising $25,000 for Sweet Relief. Simply listen in, comment, share, or like, and Jam Sellers will donate $1 up to $2,500 per show if you do. Plus, you can click or text to donate directly to Sweet Relief. So pour yourself a glass of butter Chardonnay and get ready to enjoy some new music. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Welcome to the Jam Happy Hour benefiting the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. And like Michelle said, it's really easy to jump in and have some fun, enjoy the music, get to know our artists a little bit better. And by clicking, liking, sharing, or dropping your favorite emoji, we will donate $1 on your behalf. This evening, we're going to enjoy music with Alec Chambers, who is coming in from Connecticut. So welcome to the Jam Happy Hour.
What's up, Jana? It's so good to be here. And thank you for having me.
Well, we were talking offline a little bit about the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund and how we kind of have a fun way of raising some money, for this really great cause. And you had mentioned, just seeing so many musicians and artists that are out there and all the, the venue workers and whatnot, that there are some people that are really, struggling to make this like a full way of life. And that's why a fund like this is so important.
I think it's awesome, and I think art is such an important part of humanity. Like, I think art is healing. It does so much good for so many human beings, and the fact that we can give more of those artists opportunities to fully live out their dreams is really important. So, yeah.
I had read an article not too long ago, it was earlier this week, about how everybody's stress levels are up, and obviously the anxieties are up just in the world in general. But the number one thing that people use to bring that down is music.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because you would I've talked to a bunch of artists and stuff, and because I make so much music, I don't find myself listening to music as often as I probably should. And that's so crazy that you said that, because this has been a really anxious week for me, like a really anxious couple months. But yeah, they're that's why I got into music, is because it has that sort of effect on you. And yeah, it can definitely save
love the
lives.
psychology that even listening to the saddest song you have can help you feel better.
It's true.
It's
Something
so
about
crazy.
laying in bed and listening to a really sad song after a heartbreak is something about it feels good. It's sick.
Okay, well, if I'm laying in bed listening to a really sad song after a heartbreak, I'm sobbing my eyes out while attempting to sing along to it. How do you act in that moment?
Oh man, I've had a lot of those moments. There's a band that I really like that I listen to during those times. They're called 𝘾𝙚𝙚𝙚.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Yes, so I think they're really good for those.
So do you snot cry like I do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to change my sheets afterwards. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well,
Definitely need to do
we're
that, yeah.
siblings as it is. As we jump into our Jam Happy Hour to benefit the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, we're going to talk, we're going to listen to some music, we're going to get to know you a little bit better. And if you are listening along, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, invite your friends in on whatever platform you're enjoying this, to not only get to know Alec a little bit better and get to know his music a little bit better, but also to benefit a great cause. Let's dive right in. How would you like to set the tone for the hour? What would you like to perform first?
Cool, let's do it. The first song I'm going to play is a song that's called Boston. And the song is about being in a long-distance relationship with somebody that was in Boston. And unfortunately, they chose to stay in Boston. Yeah.
Aptly titled. Here's Boston
Yeah.
with Alec Chambers in the Jam Happy Hour.
I know you don't want wanna talk much, getting worked up, yet no you can't help it. I know you're thinking about the long run and what you want. You don't wanna be selfish, but the truth comes out sometimes when you're drunk too much, got too high. I know you don't wanna wake up and then make up when you really don't mean it. I hate seeing you like this. It hurts knowing something's missing. I think you should go back to Boston and maybe go find yourself. Talk to your friends and let them help. Find what you want in someone else. I think you should go back to Boston, 'cause we know this ain't the same. We only lose when we play this game. Go back and lost in whatever you found in Boston. Yeah, I'm sorry for the changes, but the truth is it wouldn't make any difference, 'cause the problems are a long list. If we started right now, you know we never get through it. But the truth comes out at night when you're drunk too much, got too high. At least I know we're being honest. Whatever love we had, we lost it. I hate seeing you like this. It hurts knowing something's missing. I think you should go back to Boston and maybe go find yourself. Talk to your friends and let them help. Find what you want in someone else. I think you should go back to Boston, 'cause we know this ain't the same. We only lose when we play this game. Go back and lost in whatever you found in Boston. I hate seeing you like this. It hurts knowing something's missing. I think you should go back to Boston and maybe go find yourself. Talk to your friends and let them help. Find what you want in someone else. I think you should go back to Boston, 'cause we know this ain't the same. We only lose when we play this game. Go back and lost in whatever you found in Boston.
Alec Chambers, Jam Happy Hour, kicking it off with the. All right, so Boston, much to unpack in that song.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be able to put some pretty hard truths out there in a song like that? I mean, I'm just going to assume you actually walked through that experience. There's a lot of really hard things that you dropped into that song. How crazy is that to A, share it, B, know people are going to react to it, and C, have to go back to it? How old is that song?
So that song I released in 2019.
Okay, so bad math, but 5 years of singing about a really hard situation.
I know, you would think I'd be over it by now.
I think, right?
So that song was actually a song that I made with my friend Jordan Shaw, who is in London. And at that time, he had these lyrics that were explaining a situation that I was exactly going through. Like, my ex was living in Boston, and we just had like a really tough relationship because of like the distance and
Right. It's like staying tethered, but then realizing maybe why. And
yeah. And then so when he sent me some of the lyrics that he kind of like had first started, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like a song that I'm supposed to release just because of what was happening in my life at like at the time. But yeah, I think those situations are what makes the best songs. Like I always try to use like a lot of the pain that I go through to express it into something that I think maybe can resonate with like other people. But I'm over it by now.
Okay, well,
Like, that
yes,
whole
we know.
thing, yeah.
If you go to Alex's Instagram, you know he's over it. By the way, he's very
I'm
much
definitely
over it. And
I'm
moving
good.
on, which
Yeah.
we'll discuss that, the happiness on the other side of it. But if you're curious, go ahead. There is his at if you want to go see that. How weird is it to though put something so brutally honest out into the world, and knowing as soon as you do that, it's not yours anymore. Like it's going to become somebody else's story. Like I connected with that song. Everybody who hears that is going to connect in a different way. So it kind of becomes like a living, breathing thing.
Yeah, so I think having to release songs are kind of like your children. I think in some way it's like, okay, it's like sending your kid to school. I don't have any kids, but I think that's kind of maybe what it's like, because it's something that you love so much and that you've made, and that you're kind of letting it go and just letting it live its own life, sort of. And so that's what I think, like release days are kind of weird. Like I released a song actually today.
Friday, yeah, New Music Friday.
Yeah. And you know, I think it's like a bittersweet thing, because it's like you're happy that the song is out, but at the same time, it's like no longer yours. So I think it's okay. Like, what are we gonna write next? But it feels really good to be able to get. I've always been like a super sensitive guy, so I think having to get things out and having to explain myself has just always felt good for me. So
Cathartic.
yeah, it's definitely like healing, and it feels good.
That's awesome. And I'm coming up with the children's school analogy. So you sent the kids. So if it's not a bus, what is that? Social media. You sent the kids off to social media today.
That could be completely wrong, because I don't have any kids, and I feel like I can't speak for anyone like who do have kids. But I have heard some artists that do have kids say it, and that makes me think it's like I'm sending you to Spotify camp.
Spotify camp. We have called them musical babies here in the Jam Happy Hour. So
yeah, and I can only assume that kind of, obviously a song is not the same thing as a kid. It's like a little different,
Alec.
obviously.
I mean, they're a little bit different, but
yeah, kind of different. Yeah.
Some songs take years to build, and look, you can have a kid in 10 months. It's kind of amazing.
I haven't written a song that took 9 months, but I can imagine some people probably have.
So the song that you just released today, how long were you working on that?
So this is a song I actually wrote 10 years ago.
Okay, see,
so
you're making my point for me.
But I had finished it, and I just hadn't released it. Like I wasn't working on it for 10 years. I just hadn't.
All right, let's think about Alec Chambers from 10 years ago. What would you tell that guy? Knowing that you were both working on the same song 10 years apart. Stop obsessing about that one chord.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, like just calm down. It's not, like this is not gonna matter in the long run. But no, it's I think as you get older and as you have more life experiences, the songs that you write obviously change.
Sure.
And so I think when I was writing that song 10 years ago, I didn't think that I would maybe have the same kind of emotions that I have now when I was writing it, because I feel like when you write a song, it's kind of like, okay, like it's out of me now, like the poison is out and now I can kind of move on. But no, I think some of those feelings just kind of always, I don't know, like stay with you.
Well, yeah, and especially 10 years later to have them kind of come back up and finally get to finish it, finally get to release it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, I've been in therapy for 10 years, so.
Me too.
Yeah. You do you.
It's totally good.
I want to talk about the journey into music. I want to talk about why you crank out songs, which I think is amazing. But I feel like now's a great time to stop down and kind of get back into the music and kind of reset what we're doing here in the Jam Happy Hour. It is an hour with Alec Chambers to just enjoy the music and get to know him a little bit better. But we're also raising money for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So if you're liking what you're hearing, or if the lyrics make you feel a certain way, pop that emoji up and we'll donate $1 on your behalf. What would the second song of the evening be, and where did it come from, Alec?
Cool. Actually, so the second song that I'm gonna do is actually a cover, if that's okay.
That's great.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do.
What does it mean to you?
Well, this was the first song that I learned how to play on. Not the first song, but the first song that I learned how to like finger pick on the acoustic.
Are you self-taught?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get into that.
Yes.
I mean,
And
that's amazing.
this song is called "Blackbird" by the Beatles.
That's a good one. All right, Alec.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Take it away, you guys. Enjoy.
Cool. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Did you grow up in a household that was listening to a lot of the Beatles and like some of these like earlier songs? Because that is a really interesting one to start with.
Thank you. Yeah. So, my father, he actually like got me into wanting to play music. So my dad is, he plays the guitar, and so when I was a kid, like, kind of seeing him play and like show me, like a bunch of records and that sort of thing, really got me into like, I just thought it was so cool, and
Yeah.
and I think listening to those kinds of bands like just got me in like this kind of emotional place where it just felt really good. And so yeah, my dad was like a big inspiration for me, like
A
wanting to
musician in
make
his own
music.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're in the family business.
I am. Yeah, totally.
But I love the fact that you were still self-taught, you know, to like, okay, I want to pick this up. I want to do this and I'm going to learn how to do this. So you just went for it.
Yeah, so I used to go onto YouTube and kind of like
Yeah.
just lock myself in my room and like learn stuff. And that's kind of how I learned. Now, like looking back, it probably caused me like a lot of mental issues, like being locked in my room for all that time.
Yeah.
But it has allowed me to make music. So
To do
yeah.
pretty well. Have a sip of water. I'm going to reset for a second for everybody who's jumping in here, whether it's through YouTube or Facebook. Welcome to the Jam Happy Hour with Alec Chambers here this evening. And I know we're also linking up with some of your fans, and maybe they'll get to know us and we'll get to know you. And that's what I love about this hour for a great fun with the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Two, growing up in a musical household, do you remember the very first piece of music that you wanted to buy?
Very first music. Okay, yeah. I think
Whether it was
so.
a CD or a record, you're like, I'm going to the store and I'm buying this.
The first record that comes to my mind is I think it was a Limp Bizkit record.
We're gonna
That
get along fine.
that I
Great.
think. What?
This is gonna be great.
This is good. Yeah, I think it was like a Limp Bizkit record where I was like, "This is sick." Like,
Did you do it all for the nookie?
I did it all for the Nookie, and I broke a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
And I broke a bunch of shit.
No,
I love it.
No, but like as far like when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I think I started listening to that kind of stuff and like Linkin Park and just
yeah.
more of that kind of like edgier pop rock stuff. And then when I
Yeah.
was like 13 and 14 was when I got into like Elton John and like Billy Joel and Paul McCartney, like in that sort of stuff. But
And all three of them are still at it.
I know, it's wild. I cannot believe they're all still touring.
I mean, are you gonna be touring at 75, sir?
Probably not. I don't think so. I
That's
mean,
just crazy.
we'll see. But no, it's like I was like I think when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I was like listening like to Eminem or like
Also
Kid
still
Rock,
at it.
like just I was born in '95, so like that kind of era was when I started listening to music.
It was a great time to come up through with your music because I think the genres were all blurred at that point too.
I don't know, it was so great.
And it still is. And then you jump into the we fast forward here abruptly, but then we fast forward into you jumping into the wild, wild west of technology and social media. You learn guitar, you learn how to play, you find your voice, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to put this out and see what happens. Were you seeing other people doing that? Were you like, hey, maybe I can do that too? Or was it something that you stumbled upon?
No, so there was a few guys that I used to follow on YouTube that they had started to post like a lot of their stuff. There was a guy, his name was AJ Raphael, and there was another guy named 𝘾𝙗𝙚𝙧𝙨, and they were kind of like the first YouTubers that were making music on there. And then in 2009, I started to post like me singing in my bathroom.
Good acoustics.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of echo in there, so
Yeah.
so it definitely helped.
Nature's reverb.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then like I was probably uploading on YouTube for like almost like close to 10 years before
Wow.
anything really.
Or the
happened
overnight
for me.
success that took 10 years?
Yeah, and it's still yeah, it's still trying to take it. So I started posting in 2009, and I started posting heavily from like 2015 to 2019, and that was kind of like at the end of 2019 was when it started to like really do well for me.
Just in time for a pandemic.
Yeah, right. It's so
Kind
like
of set you up though. I mean, in a good way because you were already creating content. You were already comfortable. So many artists had to shift to it.
I know.
Here you were already prolific in it.
And that was such a weird time for everybody. But for someone like me who I think was home a lot doing social media, there wasn't a lot that changed for me during that time, because if anything, there were more people at home on their phones, and you kind of had more eyeballs around that time. And so even though that was
craving live music, craving something new.
And I think even though that was such a hard time for a lot of people, it also helped a lot of people start social media careers during that time.
Right. And I would say for someone who had been doing it, continues to do it, has success with it, what advice would you give a young 16-year-old girl or boy who's like, I want to do that too?
I think something that you should always do is just to keep, because now we live in a world where there is no, like in the early 2000s or even like 5 or 10 years ago, if you wanted to be in the music industry, you had to like get signed to like a record label. You had to
do
know
the boogie.
somebody or have like a manager. But now we have this thing called social media where you could literally upload a video and get 1 million views. So I think something that I still have to remind myself of, and I think I wish I did more of, is to not always try to be so perfect, because at the end of the day, it's just like one video or like just kind of like one piece of content. So like, and just make as much content as you can. Like it's sad, but not sad that like most artists nowadays have to start making content. Like it's just what it is. But I would just say, just try to be consistent and just keep uploading your music, because someday somebody is going to start to pay attention to it.
You connected on two really good points there. One, being authentic and don't try to be overly perfect and represent yourself. And the other one being be consistent and continually, put stuff out there without slowing yourself down of, oh, that wasn't right or that wasn't this. Because you never know really what's going to connect. Like I'm sure the first time, one of your posts connected, you were like, okay, what did I do right? And can I recreate it? And that's not why it went viral.
No, it's so funny that you say that. It's like, and I think a lot of artists probably can relate to this. The stuff that you think that like is always going to go viral, it doesn't.
Nope.
And the stuff that you think is not going to go viral, it usually does. And so it's just kind of has like a reverse effect on it. And like the first thing that I did that helped me gain, like a decent amount of followers was I did a version of the Halsey song Without Me. And I posted that onto my YouTube, and it sat on my YouTube for like 3 months or so. And then I got an email from a website saying they wanted to include my version in, I don't know, like a video that they were making. And I said, okay, cool. So I get on a call with them, and it's Halsey watching my version of her song. And it's just like something that I never thought would ever happen by just having to upload online.
She's cool like that.
Yeah, she's cool. She just was like, this is cool. And I was like, cool.
And then all of a sudden, millions of people later, having seen it, going, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but like, that's the thing. It's just, you just never know. And that's why I just think that like you should keep posting your content, because you could have one piece of content that'll get 5 views or like 500, and then next one will get 5 million. It's just kind of how the game is right now. Don't get discouraged.
Yeah, don't just post it. Just like see what happens. If 1 million people see it, great. If 5 people see it, great.
Totally.
And especially when it comes to music, and as an artist like yourself, I'm sure there is, you benefit just from putting it out there for yourself. If other people can come along and enjoy it too, which you've done a lot of. You've got a ton of songs out there, a lot of music, and you've got like a more of a prolific, catalog in the last 6 years, and a lot of artists having 10, 15, and 12 years. What do you think drives you to continually keep making music?
That's a really good question, and that's no
one
one like has
a
ever.
Lot.
What?
You have a lot.
Yeah, no, and like
not in a bad way.
No, I think it's good. Like no one has really ever acknowledged that before. Like I do have a lot of songs out there, and I like appreciate you saying that. And I think it's just like, I think sometimes like I think it's like this self-fulfilling prophecy that's just like there's just something about expressing myself in a way where I didn't really talk a lot about this, but like when I was a young boy, I had a pretty severe stutter, And so
Stop it.
yeah, and so that kind of put me in a mental place where it was hard for me to like say the things that I wanted to say, and it made me
Right.
kind of feel like I wasn't being exactly heard how I wanted to. So when I like sing and make music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can express how I feel in,
That's so
you know, like an artistic
cool.
way. And so I think that little boy is still in me, you know, that kind of
Just
wants
cranking it
to
out.
do that. Yeah.
I really love that, Alec. I mean, and thank you
Thanks.
for being honest about that too. I think so many people, dealt with that in their own ways, not maybe specifically, but finding a way around it and realizing this is what I want to do, or this is how I can share this without kind of being behind that gate. That to say it like that is really very cool. So
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Thanks for sharing your music.
Yeah, and no, I was gonna say, like, I think so many artists have like their why, and you know, as I get older, I think I start to realize that that really has been, you know, like a big motivator for me. So yeah.
I want to get into the why. I want to get into the motivations. I want to get into a lot of that coming up. But we're about halfway through the hour right now. It goes by so fast. What would you like to play for us next for your third song?
Cool. I'm gonna do a song that I wrote. It's called "Something to Cry About."
Well, I think we have plenty of things to cry about, but
I do a lot of crying. Yeah.
we're very open like that. All right. It's something to cry about here with Alec Chambers in the Gem Happy Hour. If you like it, comment. Enjoy.
Chasing something I'm not, just to share the same thoughts with you. I think it's a lost cause, think we should call off, yeah. Problems we never solve, rights that always go wrong with you. This ain't gonna last long, we should just call off, yeah. I keep getting drunk with you, 'cause we don't have enough to do. I know that both of us could use a sober night. How does it feel when the liquor runs out? Would it be real if we burned it all down? Would there be tears if we let it all out? Let it all out. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. Cry about, cry about. They say I'm all that you ask, leave them all in the past, yeah. I shouldn't want more, that's what the wrong's for. No, I shouldn't be running in the dark every Saturday, riding in your car. Thought I knew you, now I wonder who you are. Wonder who you are. Wonder who you are. I still keep pouring, getting drunk with you, 'cause we don't have enough to do. I know that both of us could use a sober night. How does it feel when the liquor runs out? Would it be real if we burned it all down? Would there be tears if we let it all out? Let it all out. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. Cry about, cry about, yeah. How does it feel when the liquor runs out? Would it be real if we burned it all down? Would there be tears if we let it all out? Let it all out. How does it feel when the liquor runs out? Would it be real if we burned it all down? Would there be tears if we let it all out? Let it all out. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. I wish you'd give me something to cry about. Cry about, cry about, yeah.
I did not see it going that way.
You
The
thought
title
it-
like that, man.
Like, is it gonna be a little sadder?
I did, but again, like you nail with these like honest lyrics, and the musicality is fantastic too. So you're clearly doing what you were meant to be doing, and thank you for sharing it with us here in the Jam Happy Hour.
Thank you so much. Thank
If you guys enjoyed it as much as I do, please continue to comment and click and like and share so we can raise money for this amazing Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I want to talk about motivation. And I'm looking like at the discography back from the 20s and 21. I feel like there's going to be some sadness. There's maybe some things going on. But these days, not so sad. So congratulations, by the way, if you've jumped by Alec's Instagram page, you're in love.
Yeah. Yes.
That's very
I
exciting.
just recently I got engaged recently. Yes, and trying to plan a wedding, and also, still
Plan a life.
plan a life, and I think it's time I start to write some more happy songs. I think it's only right,
Well,
'cause-
it's balance, right? Everything's a balance.
yeah, and it's so funny, like I just really vocally, I think I just like to whine, so I
like to whine too.
I just like to whine, so I think I just kind of go more towards that outlet. And like I liked a lot of those bands growing up, like a lot of those punk rock bands that just kind of whined, but maybe I'll make a happy one soon.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's going to be the case. And if that, if you go by life motivations, I think that's going to certainly be happening in the near future. Did your fiance know that you were this musician and pretty much everything that was going to be happening in your life could end up in a song, or was that a surprise?
No, so she has always known that I wanted to do this. We've been together for 5 years, and
Okay.
throughout the last 5 years, my life has been like pretty heavily like music related, and writing songs and making videos and doing shows and like having to travel. And so yeah, she's like 100% on board, and like that's honestly, it's like something that I think has maybe caused me a little bit of havoc in some of my past relationships, is that I think having to date a musician and having to be with someone who is like an artistic sort of person is hard sometimes. But yeah, she
Agreed.
definitely is good for me.
You got to be all in. It's
Yeah.
a full lifestyle for sure. You talked about traveling a lot, and we've talked a little bit offline about live music because you have a little shark there behind you on your keyboard,
Yeah.
which came from, I think you said a show. What is the story with the shark? Again.
So this is a shark, and so
Hi, shark.
obviously it's a shark. No, so I was playing a show in New Jersey, and for a few months before the show, I was doing live streaming a lot on 𝘼𝙥𝙥𝙧𝙨. And sometimes when you go live on there, you could send your favorite creator, you can send them like a little gift or something, or
Okay.
like a virtual gift. And so like this girl Destiny, who's in my live, she would always send me a shark as like a virtual gift. And
Aw.
so when I was in Jersey, she was at the show and she brought me like an actual shark. Like stuffed animal. So it's just something that I like to have with me to kind of remember that, hey, like there are some people out there who actually like do care about your music.
That's a
sort of
really
thing,
great
yeah.
reminder, though, because when you are interacting, camera to camera, or you're so busy, editing or recording, or however you're putting it all together, you forget. Yes, there are actual real people on the other side
Totally.
of everything. And then when you get to go and you do live music and you get to meet some of them, like you're like, we're still connecting. It's
Yes.
the best feeling.
Exactly. And like that's kind of the same feeling that I get like when I go see artists, like at shows. I'm like, oh, this is like a real person, like sometimes you forget. But yeah, I just have always liked to be very interactive with all of the people that support me.
Well, I know with your family kind of being in the music biz. This might be a tricky question, but what was the first concert that you wanted to go to that you went to? Like that you were stoked?
Okay, so the first concert that I went to was actually, rest in peace, Aaron Carter.
Oh,
That was the first concert that I ever went to. And what's funny enough is that so in 2019 I actually opened up for Aaron Carter.
Wow.
So like I saw him.
That's a full circle.
Yeah, so like so many things like that I think have like happened when it's like when you're like a kid, you kind of see you know, like you like have an idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you're like, wow, like this is actually happening for me. But that was the first show that I ever went to, and it was cool.
How does it feel to know that for some people you're their first show?
Oh yeah. I mean, I hope it was good.
I hope
I hope that you had a good time. And yeah, I'm really hoping to play more shows
That
soon.
was my next question. Like, what is the plan? More live music, more like if you could tour. I mean, obviously there's a lot of life going on right now too, and you're actually, you know, very comfortable with connecting this way, but there's just something about that live music vibe that you just can't beat. So is there plans for that in 25?
Definitely plans for that next year. I've been in such like a social media world right now for so long that I kind of want to get out of it and like actually be on like actually be in concert again, because you know like that's why I love making music, is so I can get up onto a stage and like express myself and sing the songs like with other people there. So next year there's definitely going to be more plans to have more shows and go on tour.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll be coming either out to Napa or wherever anybody's watching from. In fact, if you want to drop in where you're at, where you would like for Alec to come and tour through, by doing so in that comment section, we'll donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Man, this hour goes by so fast. I have more questions coming up, but I want to jump back into the music with you. And we were talking beforehand. I love how you're like full into telling the stories behind the songs. Yeah. And I think as a music nerd, I just kind of love knowing where it's coming from you. But then as soon as you sing it, it becomes mine. So what song are you playing next?
So this song that I'm going to play next is called Dark Can Be Beautiful.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, this is a sad one.
Oh, here we go again. All right. Let me get my tissues.
Let's do it. Sometimes it takes all day to get out of bed. Skeletons in my closet when I get dressed. So when you tell me you feel empty, oh, I swear that I relate. 'Cause I've been down, down, down too many days. Don't go pretending like your past might drive me out. Got the same friends in my head that'll freak you out. Promise I won't run away. Tell your demons they can stay. 'Cause dark can be beautiful. Tears filling up your eyes when you're not upset. Talk to a God you still don't believe in yet. So when I tell you that I feel you, those are not just words I say. 'Cause I've been down, down, down too many days. So don't go pretending like your past might drive me out. When I got the same friends in my head that'll freak you out. Promise I won't run away. Tell your demons they can stay. 'Cause beautiful. All that you are is beautiful.
And you did it again because that ended up being a sweet song in a roundabout kind of a way.
Kind of sad, kind of sweet, yeah.
Kind of sad, kind of sweet. Alec Chambers here in the Jam Happy Hour. I hope you guys are enjoying the music. And if so, please continue to comment and like and share so we can benefit the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund on your behalf by doing so. It made me think, though, like, obviously there's a lot in that song between, you know, being dark and finding that beautiful and kind of accepting yourself kind of along the way, too. But, like, in this crazy industry we've got going on right now where you really can release anything that you want at any time that you want versus how it used to be, even pre-pandemic. How do you feel about being untethered in the sense of you really can do whatever you want?
Yeah. I think that can go... Wait.
That's something. It's like there's a plan.
I think it can go both ways, right?
Or it's wild.
Like I think it's really a gift because you can literally make something, upload it the next day or that same day, and have real humans listen to it. And at the same time, it's kind of scary because there are no rules anymore. Like, and especially now, like with artificial intelligence and things like that, like it's become very easy to make a song. Like you can just you can have the internet make a song for you. So it's kind of I think music right now is in it's in a weird place. I think it's in a good place. Like I think it's really good for anyone can really be an artist right now, but I don't know where it's gonna be in the future. Like I don't know what AI has in store and what that means for like actual musicians and
it's a big topic in the conversation. Absolutely. Just on not only the singer-songwriter side, on the tech side, on the production side, on socials. Like I think I commented on this picture last night. I was like, that's beautiful. Where is that? My friend was like, totally made up. I'm like, Jesus, you can't even tell anymore.
You're like, where is that? She's like, nowhere.
Nowhere. It doesn't exist. I'm like, damn. All right. So you're right. You make a really good point in that, you know, it's going to get very interesting. And I mean, hopefully we'll be able to figure out a way to kind of rein it into some sense, or at least have it be labeled, you know.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like I've heard like a lot of the songs that have been made with AI and like some of them are good, but at the end of the day, I think it's hard to get close to a real human being singing and expressing themselves and having like to pour their heart out in front of you. Like there's still nothing that comes close to that. So I think it's still okay for now.
Yeah, so many artists have said that too. Like you really can't, again, circling back around to that authenticity that we were talking about before, like a computer can't generate that yet. Let's hope they don't figure it out. But
I think it's going to eventually. But
no, don't say that. You are very multifaceted when it comes to, you know, what you're doing career-wise. If you had to pick what you're most comfortable with, because I mean, obviously you're playing your instruments, you're singing the songs, you're writing the songs, you're creating the visuals around the songs. There's a lot of artists that can't do all of it. But what do you think is your best trait? Because some people have teams to do this, and it's you're like a one-man shop.
I know. Sometimes I wish I did have a team. Yeah.
I need my team in here, please.
Sometimes I wish I did. No, because I think you get to a point where, you know, it becomes a lot, like, especially when it's your livelihood and you need to be able to, like, support yourself. I do enjoy making video content. Like, I think it's just another form of artistic expression. Like, I think my best trait, I mean, I like to sing, you know, I like to sing and use my voice. But yeah, since I've had to start to get like into like making TikToks and those sorts of things,
Mm-hmm.
I have started to, like enjoy making TikTok videos. I sound like a 13-year-old girl, but I definitely have,
No,
started to enjoy
only
it.
if you have a dance move.
Yeah,
Then,
no, not
I
anymore.
mean, we could get into it then.
Not anymore. Yeah.
When it comes to the music, and obviously you're putting it out on multiple platforms, I always like to remind everybody, if you like the songs and maybe you want to hear them in a different kind of way, maybe not acoustic, you want to hear them like full plugged in or how you recorded them, which playlist, which platforms do you want people to go and check you out on?
Yeah, so Spotify and Apple Music for
Mhm.
sure. If you want to hear like produced things
the
that I
full
have
versions?
out,
Yeah.
my YouTube is where I kind of have the more raw stuff because that's kind of like where I started. So
Okay.
a lot more raw stuff is on my YouTube, but I hope that you will like both of them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, people don't realize just how much that one little click, that like or that follow will kind of kick the algorithm a little bit. So
Totally,
if you are
totally.
curious, go do that, and then you'll be like a butterfly wing in Africa, and we'll have a hurricane in Florida next week. But it'll be
Ah.
musically for you, Alec Chambers. So we have
Thank you
time for
very
about
much.
one more song here in the Jam Happy Hour. What would you like to wrap us up with?
Cool. This is a song that I released today. Actually.
Today, this is today's baby.
This is a brand new song. Yes.
Tell me
It is-
about it, and I want the story.
Okay, I'll tell you the story. So this song is called "Heart of Me," and it's kind of a sad one. It's about having to let go of someone because it's what's best for them, even though it's not really working out. So I was seeing somebody. So I was seeing somebody all throughout high school, and then we both like went to college. And then once we went to college, we kind of split up because it's hard, like being away and that kind of stuff. And so I wrote this song about that, which was just kind of like, you go do your thing, and I'm going to go do my thing, and just, like no hard feelings, that kind of thing.
Heart of Me, out today, fresh. Alec Chambers here in the Jam Happy Hour.
I wish we could have met right now. Maybe then I'd be what you so needed. Maybe you'd still want me around. You say you have feelings for him. Well, I hope he gives you all you've ever wanted, because you've taken all that I can. People change and people grow. I'm sorry, this is how it had to go. I'm dying for you to let me in, but I understand this time you're in. If you love something, you set it free. I know we are confused right now, 'cause there's one way in, but there's two ways out. A piece of you will always be at the heart of me, at the heart of me, at the heart of me. Remember all the plans we made. Remember when we saw our favorite band play in the middle of a summer day. You look at me so amazed, like you knew that this was everything you wanted, and it was never gonna go away. But people change and people grow. The good times come and the good times go. I'm dying for you to let me in, but I understand this time you're in. If you love something, you set it free. I know we are confused right now, 'cause there's one way in, but there's two ways out. A piece of you will always be at the heart of me, at the heart of me, at the heart of me. What do you see fall asleep, do you dream about me? 'Cause I still dream about you. At the heart of me, at the heart of me, at the heart of me. I'm dying for you to let me in, but I understand this time you're in. If you love something, you set it free. I know we are confused right now, 'cause there's one way in, but there's two ways out. A piece of you will always be at the heart of me.
Okay, that's a sad one.
Yeah,
That's a sad one, Alec Chambers.
that one's a little sad, yeah.
I love the lyric though, one way in and two ways out. That's so
Yeah, thank you.
so good.
Now, because like it's kind of like, you know, like we both go in the same way into the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but when we leave, we go two separate ways. You know, it's like it's tough.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for spending the hour with us and just kind of like playing and talking and vibing. I know we're big fans now, and we're going to be jumping into our playlists and adding and following. And I know you like to put out a lot of music. Do you have plans for more in 24?
Yeah, so my plan, I have about 3 more songs that are gonna be coming out before the end of the
Okay.
year. So and yeah, like this was so cool, and I just really appreciate you guys, and it like was really good talking to you, Jana. Thank you
For
so
sure.
much.
Well, cheers to you and your fiance and all the happy songs coming your way.
Thank you. Yes.
And you guys go follow Alec and enjoy. Thanks for being a part of the Jam Happy Hour.
Thank you guys.
Night.